Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the model railway community. Welcome back to Partickhill Station. I'd appreciate if you give me a thumbs up just to let me know that you can hear me. Because as usual, audio is always a challenge. So let me know if you're on, if you can hear and see the broadcast. Oh, Mark, good evening and welcome. Just let me know, Mark, if you can hear me okay. Tom Houston, good evening. How is the weather at your place? Audio is okay. Oh, that's terrific. I'm glad to hear that because it's, as usual, always a challenge to get it right. So, how is everybody out there? What have you been up to today? Have you been to any shows that you saw something interesting at? Yeah, well, we've got a rainy, cloudy day today, and it may break and might get some sunshine later on in the day. So, hi, Tom. Hi, Mark. Let's just see what Mark's got here. Yeah, well, Tom, you're probably getting what we get. That's how it works. So I sent something to Tom about how I might set up my Triang R965, and I thought I'd leave it with him to see what he thinks. But in essence, I'll try and show you here. Oops. Nearly lost my laptop. So in essence, if you can see this, just hang on. So there's the R965, and then there's that little connector gizmo, and there's the plug, which in this particular case is it's 12 volts in, 12 volts out. So I'm assuming that would be okay to hook up. Just don't want to get ahead of myself and burn the place down. So I've got that SPT 156 two-car set from Lima running there because Clive had spotted it a few weeks ago, or a couple of weeks ago, and I decided to get it out and get it running through the station. So a couple of other things have been, well, thanks, Tom. I'll go ahead with that, hook it all up, and and see how it works. Another thing that I haven't got around to, but I will, and that is, if I can get it out of this box. This little shuttle unit. Now, I got this down in California after trying a few things on the internet that were the wrong purchases, let's say. Anyway, this is the real thing, and it comes equipped with the two tiny diodes. Now, there's a bit of history on this. I had tried to get it running before, and try and show you once again what I had. So I've cut the track there, and then I put this diode on there. It's way in excess of what's required. And at the other end, there's another diode over there. And I was trying to drive it through this little unit here. I didn't get it working. It never worked out for me, let's say. So that was all very frustrating. But what I've done now is I've added a power line here, and I would hook that up to that little unit, and hopefully that will take care of things. Let me just get this out here. So basically, that's what I want to do right there. And it seems simple enough if I understand and follow the instructions. It's all laid out there, and I'll give it a go. So that'd be nice to get that as an addition to the layout. Oh, one other thing. Well, let's move on to something here for a second. And I just noticed Carol Flavin had a video out where she'd been selected by the Hornby TV show to get a layout on TV. And that's a great honour for anybody. And I know she's very excited about that. If you haven't seen it yet, you should drop by there and have a look. Well, by the way, Mark, I know you were out bonding with a few of the usual characters, let's say, during a tour of railways. That was really excellent. I enjoyed that video, and as I say, a bit of male bonding going on there, let's say. So well done on that, Mark. A couple of other stations or channels you might want to check out. Mark at Fantasia Model Railways. Now, Mark's got some beautiful European trains running there, and like he's got them just crawling. It is really amazing what he's done there, and congratulations to him. And he's, the DMU units that he's got there, I think there's 5 of them altogether. He's got them running really smoothly, and that was very enjoyable to watch. And if you haven't been by there recently, you should just drop by and check it out. Now, back to something else for a second. So here's the little pannier tank that you might have seen Double O Bill work on earlier in the week. Now, as I showed you last week, this runs great. It's a fine little Lima model, but the problem is, and I may have pointed it out, I can't get that on and get that to sit in there. And I couldn't figure out why, but, you know, I went back into Bill's tutorial video, and there's another little frame that comes in here before you put the body on, and that assists getting this weight in place. Now, I don't recall if I've got that. It may be stuck in a box somewhere. I've no idea. I'll look for it. But yeah, I mean, it runs great. Just get this back in place. There. What current can it supply? Let's see. Is that VAC or the wattage? Excuse my ignorance again. But it's 120 VAC, and it's, can't make out the megahertz, but it's 15 watts, and the output is 800 milliamps, made in China. Mystic Railroad, good afternoon, good evening, welcome. Good to see you dropping in. So back to giving a couple of people a call out. Robert Dingwall 00. Now, I'm guessing Rob lives in Dingwall. I've been up there. It's a real nice part of the country, and it's got a beautiful little station there. If you're ever up that far north, check it out. I think we'll bring the 156 in for a little rest and get something else out. Yeah, Mr. It is. And if you notice that BOC tanker, that's a kind of sought after tanker. And I was just lucky enough to find it. I've got the original Triang box to go along with it. Well, Tom, that's a good question. I'd have to look into that and see what the scoop is. Not really sure which ones would, which ones wouldn't, whether the old ones are okay or the newer ones. Valley 56 double X, how you doing? So here's another point of discussion. You can see that. Okay, so I found these in a drawer. I ordered them a year or two ago. Let's get it focused. There you go. Those are 10 tooth brass cogs. 10. Now, there's 10 and 11. And some of these Ringfield motors take a 10 tooth one, others take an 11 tooth one. So, given that I've removed or a cog, a spur cog has fallen off, I need to match up to see if it's a 10 or an 11 tooth. And just as well, I ordered some last year, got the 11 teeth cogs, because I know that some of them that I have require being replaced. It's just a case of which ones. And then the other thing, I need, once I determine which one is which, I need to go into the Triang Hornby sheets. Oh, hi, Clive. I just had your SPT 156 running there because I thought you were here. Anyway, we'll get it running later. Good of you to drop by. Anyway, so once I find out which one is which and get it set up, I will need to make sure that the cogs, the larger cogs, the two big ones, two small ones, are the correct ones. Because if you've got a brass cog that's got 10 teeth and one that's got 11, I'm sure they've designed it so those other cogs have got the correct number of teeth. So I don't want to screw things up. So I'll need to do a bit of investigation on that. So we'll take a closer look at these tanks. Now, there's the original one, nice and clean. And there's the one I weathered using the Micron pens. I use these for artwork. I draw cars and different stuff and put it on Instagram. You might have seen some of it. And then I used the pastel chalk, these pastel crayons, and I made powder out of it. And then I applied the powder and then sealed the whole thing. So it's quite effective and easy to do, as you can see there. Yeah, Clive, I'm just going to speak about the track. So there's the track that I'm going to install, and I've got it isolated there. And I did that from the Pico packaging that shows that it should be isolated there. And then what I'll do is get this camera moving again. So I'll have it in here, which means I should have a power supply going there, and then another one down at this end here, like at the toe and both ends. And I believe that will get it working. So the whole idea is I'll have another little controller here that I can use to operate that inside track. Now let's see if I can get something else out here. Now at the moment, I can't get the train that's on the inside track running all the way around because I don't have a dedicated controller for that at the moment, but that will get fixed pretty soon. And just a reminder for tomorrow morning, Hot Dog Andy is live. I always like to try and tune in to Andy on a Sunday morning. But as I told you, we've got grandkids here at the moment and life is pretty busy. So I'll see if I can tune in, but Yeah, it's always an entertaining show, and he's always got a great collection um, of trains operating there. Okay, just hang on a second. Clive, I looked at a few photographs you sent a couple of days ago. I think you sent two different batches. I'll need to check and make sure that it was the same ones. Just give me a second here. Just need to back things up. Well, it's got something. I think there's something in the tunnel. Not really sure what's in there, but okay. Yeah. The hand of God here. I think there's a. Okay, Clive, this one's for you, and I'll check up on that email. So another guy I want to give a shout out to is Digger Evans, because Digger's got two layouts going there, and he's got this North American layout, and he's doing a great job with all the buildings there. Um, they're actually quite unique, these Walthers, and I think it's ATD. There's a couple other manufacturers that do great stuff, and I know he's got a few of them.
This is AG1.
And Clive at Newland Railways, he usually pops in. And congratulations on getting that roof done, and everything's dry there, which is excellent news for you. And we'll be able to see your layout progressing now. It'd be interesting to hear your opinion on which channels you actually follow, because as I cruise around the various channels, I always see a different group of people. So I guess everyone's got their own preference as to what they like to see in a broadcast, in a layout, in variety, in topics of discussion, locomotives, era, etc., etc. Yoinker MCS Coinker, person turquoise waving. Oh, good afternoon. Good of you to drop by. That's a new one on me. No, Inker, Yoinker. Not really sure how you say that, but that's different. And as I say, I'm not familiar with your channel or your layout, but we'll certainly have a look at it later. Maybe you can let us know where you are, where you're located, and what kind of layout you've got. Always interested to hear what everyone else is doing. Well, Mister, you seem to know Yoinker, so am I guessing he's somewhere round about New York? So, Clive, I hope you enjoy those DMUs. They are really great runners. I must admit that Lehman Railways are, I know they've got their critics for different reasons, but that's outstanding. Scotland, oh, oh, there you go. I should have guessed with a name like that. All right, so whereabouts? That's the first question. Well, Missy, I thought you might have known him, but it's always good to get new people on here, because there's always a story and a channel you don't know that does other things different ways and maybe better than you. Edinburgh. Oh, so you're only a 45-minute train ride from Glasgow, where I'm from, but not where I am. Uh, if you don't know, I am actually in the Toronto area. Been here for a long time. Yeah, Valley 56, you are correct. That little pannier tank, this one here, that's Salima, excuse me. And of course, Double O Bill did a service on two of them, which was very enjoyable. Yeah, Tom, very posh. Yeah. I used to go through to Edinburgh many moons ago for the weekend when I wasn't playing football. And we'd go to a disco on, I think it was called the Dunny. Now, I don't know which age group you're in, but it might have been before your time. And then we'd find a place to stay overnight. And then on the Sunday morning, we'd all jump in a bus out to Gullen, out to the sand dunes. And when you get off the bus at Gullen, there's a hotel bar right there. And we'd always go in there, have a lager and lime to freshen us up, and then head down to the beach. But yeah, Edinburgh's posh. Yeah, I'm just going to change this one up here. I like to get a variety of stuff out, although it means I've got to stop and start and keep an eye out on things. Let me see if I can. South Gyle. Not familiar with that place, Tom. I'll need to look it up on the map. sometimes I find that I get the odd coach coming off because maybe the couplings get bent out of shape or something similar. And also the other thing is some of these older Triang coaches could do with a little bit of weight. Yeah. Yeah, I've got something. Andy Dobson, how are you? I hope you can hear me, Andy, because often you can't. And I hope you forgive me for that, but everybody else can hear me today. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Andy. It's always very frustrating, as you know, when you put time into getting things set up and it doesn't always work out. Now, I'm just wondering if you've checked out Triple Valve 62, the depot. Always an interesting presentation, enjoyable video, lots of good information, and very helpful as well. It's always worthwhile dropping in and saying hi to Richard. Now, we have to. I'm afraid the hand of God is going to have to help out here so that I can get things organised. So get things moving around. Yeah, Andy, thank you. It's as I've said before, it's all about preparation. I try to spend half an hour or so pulling out trains, putting them on the track, make sure they run, so that we don't get any embarrassing situations as I've had in the past. And then hoping the sound is set up and ready to go. So let's see what I can get running here. So that's the outside line. Maybe I'll get outside line 1, 2, 3, and the inside line. I'll get this one out again. Okay. Yeah, as I said, I was very happy with that, getting that class 37 working. I just worked away at it, but see what happens when you're not paying attention. I'll just get this off. Throw it in there. Too much stuff near the track. Get the track crew out, get things organised. And we'll see what I can get. Yeah, there's something in the tunnel there. Yeah, well done, Bianca. That's great. And like everybody else, it takes time to build up an audience if that's what you're after. You can only get that by jumping in, announcing yourself and telling people about your channel and your interests and what you do. And most of you have heard my story a few times, and that is, I've been on YouTube for 10 years, although I didn't start out on the model railway because, as I've told the story, work took up a large part of my life, whether it was at home or working away from home. Well, that's good, Tom. We certainly ask everybody that's on to jump in there and help them get over the 1,000 mark. I just had another calamity. Right. Once again, not paying attention. I don't think I'd ever be able to run a railway. All part of the learning experience. I need to get this backed up here out of the way if I can. No, need to do it manually. Sorry about this. Yeah, there's an obstacle in the tunnel. Just hang in there. I had something unplug. I'm still here. There you go. Yeah, hang in, guys. I just had the connection fall off. Okay, so we'll have a go at this one. Well, we'll just go with this one at the moment. In fact, I might just change it up here and no, that's not what I want it to do. Anyway, yeah, try and after the broadcast, maybe jump in and if you haven't subscribed to any of the stations that you've seen here today or heard of, please do so, because that's what the community is all about. It's about supporting each other, trying to generate interest in each other's channels and promote the hobby in general. Yeah, Yoinka, I'm still here. I just had the laptop slipped a little bit and the plugs came out, so we're all good. Yeah, well, that should be interesting. We'll certainly look for that one. Always interested in different views, different layouts, different ideas. And so I'd be happy to go in and give you a sub to help you on the way to 1,000. Now, the 1,000 is a milestone. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, the 1,000 is a milestone. So it took me a long time to get to 1,000. And, I thought, okay, that's great. Now what? Well, if you wanted to monetize your channel, excuse me, it's a bit more complicated. You've got to get, I think it's 4,000 hours or minutes, whatever it is, so that you can qualify for being monetized. Now, I doubt as if I'll ever reach that, because it's such a huge number, and in a small community, it's very difficult because there are lots of options for people to look at, spend their time, and everybody's time is valuable, and you can't be watching everyone because there are only so many hours in the day. Yeah. Yeah, there's something in there. Right. This is why you've got to make sure you've always got enough clearance in every direction if you have a tunnel. Now, I think somewhere let's see, I think, yeah, try to get them over to the dark side, that's for sure. Yeah, it's very interesting. I look around sort of daily at what's going on, and it is interesting, because I would never criticize anybody that's on YouTube, because it takes effort to get a YouTube channel organized and up and running. It's not easy. It takes time, and as I said, a huge amount of effort. And so I applaud anyone and everyone that actually puts an effort into posting a channel and organizing it and doing it regular. And it's proven that you don't always have to be talking or showing how your railway is developing. There are other aspects of it. As an example, Newland, Clive puts a huge amount of hours into his shed, room, whatever he calls it. And, as I said earlier, he just completed the roof, and it's dry. He's had some rain and it's remained dry, and that's terrific. Take my hat off to him, because he was working there on his own, and that's not always the best thing to do. But he got through it. He piled on, and now he's got everything set, ready to go. And I'm sure we'll be seeing his model railway up and running whenever he gets a moment. Yeah. We'll make an adjustment here. I'm not sure why I've got two of these on the same one. Let's just have a look. That's the Webcam Pro. And that is the webcam. Okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, there's another piece of my artwork. So, getting back to the channels. So, as I said, I watch YouTube every day. And I'm amazed at what people have accomplished, either on their own or with other people, and the type of content that they produce. Um, I don't have anybody else coming in to help me. I don't have anybody any better looking than me to come in and help me or to pose for me. Let's just say that. And so I'm amazed at the progress that some channels make in a very short period of time, as opposed to those of you out there who've been doing it for years and do great content. So this algorithm, it's a great one of life's great mysteries, and it's all about consistency and SEO, keywords and tags and all of that. And I had the guys from vidIQ say to me, "Well, Charlie, I think you should look at this guy and his thumbnails." So I did. I went and looked at the fellow model railway guy, and he didn't have any text in his thumbnails. I did, because at one point somebody said to me, "Well, you've got to work on your thumbnails, get a good picture up there and some good text." So I did that, made a little bit of progress, and now they're saying, no, don't put text in. However, when you start looking into it, you find that, some people say, "Yeah, put text in," and others say, "No, I don't." So it's difficult to get a grasp of it. So you go through the checklist, you try to attach, a good thumbnail that represents what it is your broadcast is going to be, get a description in, and the description should tell you what the broadcast is about. I mean, you all know this, but it's just interesting to have some dialogue on it, because obviously not everybody's doing the same thing. And, so you can't really say to anybody, "Well, if you do this, you'll get 1,000. And then you might get the 4,000 watch hours," whatever it is. And also the big trend is shorts. So I put a bit of effort into the shorts, and yeah, I can get thousands of views on the shorts. You know, here there's 6 people on the chat line here. If I get into YouTube, there might be 20 people. I have no idea. And, you know, those are people that don't go into the chat line, they just sit back and watch, and that's fine. If they're following, that's great. If they're subbed, that's even better. I don't really ask for subs anymore because I'm not really sure how important it is. And I think many people say, oh no, I don't want to sub because there's a commitment there, and there might be money involved, and so I won't do the sub, and that's okay. So talking about getting monetized, so it's in a state of flux, constantly changing. They're changing the algorithm, they're changing the rules, and they will contact you when they think you are ready to be monetized. So I don't know what your comfort level is of being monetized. So move this out here. But there's different things you can do. Now, some people we know, and you know, and I know, they'll say, well, you'll get a badge if you send me this amount, and you'll get a pat on the back if you send me that amount. You know, in order to do this, you need to buy equipment. You need to stay ahead of the pack. You need to have the right cameras, the right microphone, have a layout, have lighting for it. And if you want to add to the attraction, then you got to buy it. So, would you be willing to support someone who's got a fairly decent layout and is good content and dialogue and shares information with you? I mean, I do. I do support some people, not everybody, because I can't do that. So we've got to choose where the dollar goes. But I'll support people by promoting their channel, by mentioning it online, by calling them out, and I'm not asking for any cash to do that. Just like to think that in so doing, they might return the favour, and that's it. So, what do you do about monetizing? Well, I know there's you can get advertising, and that would be one way to bring in a little bit of cash. But don't kid yourself; you're not going to make enough money to retire. Like, that's just out of the question. Although I won't mention any names, but I know some people that do very, very well out of YouTube. Let's just say that. And they work hard at it. It's their job. It's their profession. That's what they do for a living. And it's hard work, and it's very demanding. And let's see what. There's Andy. Well said. It's a great community. Some top talent, skill, and expertise are shared by many great YouTube model railwayers. I prefer to watch and learn. Yeah, Andy, you're right. That's what it's all about. Um, yeah, um, and the algorithm is, as I say, one of life's great mysteries. Um, if you sat down and watched, let's say, 2 of the top model railway channels, and there's enough of them out there that you can choose from, and just ask yourself some questions. What is it about this channel that draws people in? What is it about this channel that people subscribe to? What is it about this channel that they'll follow? And then do a comparison with somebody else, and then look at yourself, and to see ourselves as others see us, as the old bard would say. It's tough to work through and come up with an answer. I do it because I enjoy it. It gives me a community where I can have a chat and a laugh and learn from and share. I've had a couple of giveaways I've chosen on those occasions to give, some of my stock away. And it gives a sense of meaning to it all and a connection. And, the first giveaway, I think when I hit 400 or 500 a number of years ago, I had somebody in the States, somebody in England, somebody here in Canada, somebody in Poland, somebody in one of the other Mediterranean countries, and I was giving away different things, and he said to me, "Oh, you don't need to send it. I'm just happy that you have won it. I don't want you to pay to send it." And I said, "No. The deal is, you enter the contest. Here are the prizes, and I'll send it because it was my choice to give them away." And I went in with open eyes, knowing that I could send some of this stuff halfway around the world, but that's part of the deal, and that's what makes the community great. And the people who've received stuff from me have been very grateful, and I'm happy that they're happy. Now, let's see what else has been said. Yeah, so what's the goal? What's my goal? I don't think I'm ever going to get monetized. I'm not sure how I would handle that, where I would look for an income from. I would prefer, when I talk about deserving, Michael Scott at Chandwell. Oh my God, the guy's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. The stuff that he's been making, those buildings are just unbelievable. Now, I've got a cricket machine in the other room, and I've got the software, and I have a few building projects in mind that I'd like to do. And the way he does it is he goes into Google Earth, finds the building, tries to get an overall dimension, gets some elevation up, counts the windows, counts the bricks. So if you count the bricks and you know what size the bricks are, you know how big the windows are and how wide they are, and then you can begin to place them. I mean, it's really fantastic. And when you watch it, you get it and you understand it, and it's quite simple. Then the difficulty comes around when you have to print it out and then cut it out. Now, you can do it a couple of ways. You can print it out just on regular print paper, stick it on the cardboard, and then cut everything out. Or you can attach the materials and have it print out on the material. Both ways are excellent. And I've tried, I've done a little bit of cut and paste and whatever, as you know, around here. But Chanwell, Michael, you're the tops. And if you if you're ever interested in finding how to build these buildings, excuse me, go and check out Chanwell. But in the meantime, I mean, look at that. That's a simple little building made out of that grey card. And all I did was I decided, okay, well, I know to the eaves it's going to be this height and the length and the width, and then I set up the pitch for the roof. Now that's papers that I got in a drawer from the internet. It doesn't really matter. And same with the roof tiles. But I painted the roof and added flock to give it that weathered look, and really simple but very effective. So, you know, you can do anything. And that's the station master's building. And of course, and I'll bring this one out, just get in here. All right, now, like this one took a bit more effort. And that was a labour of love, because this is very similar to the building in which I was born and lived in until I was 12 years old. And I'm very proud of having been able to reproduce this. Many things I would do better next time, and I learned a lot in the process. But you can see the residents, they are getting told by the factor that they have to pack up and go. Anyway. So it's amazing what you can do when you set your mind to it. Anthony Furnival. No, I haven't. Well, that's what it's all about. Looks like your roof. Yeah, that's what happens when it rains every day, Tom. Here it doesn't rain every day. We've got 4 distinct seasons: winter, 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 spring, spring, summer, 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 winter, winter, winter. And then a bit you go at the fall, fall, fall. So we don't have the dampness you've got over in the UK. But yeah, that's how the grass grows in your roof. So yeah, I don't know this guy, Anthony Furnival, but we'll certainly check him out. And yeah, I don't get paid for saying this, doing this. It's just, you know, it's general interest in supporting the hobby, supporting the people that you admire, that you've built relationships with over the years. And I don't think twice of admitting, sorry, not an expert, but I know who you are. And so I'll turn to them and ask questions. Like Tom Houston has been very helpful, and Richard there at Triple Valve 62, the depot. It's a long one to say. And so just having dialogue with these people helps you grow and builds your knowledge. A lot of it is hesitancy and not willing to commit and afraid of making mistakes and procrastination. I suffer from all of the above, but I try to work around it and get things moving along. I mean, about the trees you see here, from what was in the garden. Just bring one over. Right now, there's a nice tree. And if you'd like a tree like this, I'd be happy to send you one. Just let me know. So there's a million ways to make a tree. That is my way. I have flowers in the garden that dry out and they're perfect for making trees. So I harvest them in the springtime, spray them to kill off anything that's on them, and then, you know, I start working on them. And they're very effective. And yeah. Anyway, guys, I've been on here nearly an hour and 30 minutes, and I think that's ample because I don't want to tie anybody up, and I don't want to be rattling on about nothing. So, you know, if you found it interesting, if you've enjoyed the time, please remember to give me the big thumbs up. You know how it works, and that doesn't ask for anything, and there's nothing expected. Yeah, just get this. I don't want this falling off. Yeah. So yeah, you're right. You'll never make anything. And if Winston Churchill said it a little bit differently, like the same meaning. Anyway, guys, I'll sign off now, having enjoyed this hour and a half with you. And remember to support the people we've discussed. Check out their channels and give them a big thumbs up. And if you feel like it, give them a sub. We know it doesn't cost anything. And thanks everybody, Tom, Andy, Yoinker, Mark, all the usual suspects, Andy, yeah, who else did I miss here? Mystic, Valley 56. Yeah, it's all the same. Clive Cobalt. I'll check out those emails again. Yeah, Mark Hamilton. Yeah. So anyway, guys, thanks very much. We'll see you next time here at Partickhill Station. Bye from now.